Where do you look if traditional real estate sectors are becoming a little bit too boring for your portfolio? That's right, you look to the sector that's making waves, literally. Surf parks are taking the world by storm, allowing surfers to ride unbeatable waves all year round and far from the coast. Before we talk about what make these assets such an interesting prospect for investment, let's briefly talk about some of the main types. The first type of wave we'll talk about utilizes a plunger system. The way this works is a giant plunger is placed in the middle of a large lake. When the plunger slams into the water, it creates a perfect 360-degree wave. The next type of mechanism is an air pressure system. These work by blasting air into chambers to displace water and generate waves. These air compression jets can be fired in any particular sequence to create almost any type of wave. Another type of technology is the hydrofoil. A hydrofoil wave pool uses a steel blade that is pulled underwater along a track, powered by a gearless drive system, down the side or the middle of a body of water. When pulled through, the submerged foil displaces the water and pushes out a wake that forms a wave. Another type of technology is a lever system. In this system, small levers fire off inside a module to push out waves. The levers are often controlled by software that can adjust the size, shape, power, and frequency of waves. Finally, whilst unproven in the real world, another really cool system is the rotating fan concept. Pictured here is a render. The concept is a fan-like machine sending out waves from a central point. The machine's wave-making blades loop around, forming one continuous wave. The wave is encircled by a wall and a deep spot to absorb wave action. Okay, so you're probably thinking all these concepts are great, but you're probably also thinking, what's the real estate angle here? So let's dive in. What does any good property sector need to be important? That's right, it needs demand, both from users and from developers. So let's just firstly talk about three major forces driving the rise of surf parks. Firstly, it's the accessibility element. Not everyone lives near the coast or near good surf. Surf parks bring the experience inland, opening up entirely new markets. Secondly, surf parks deliver consistency. Traditional surfing depends on weather and conditions. Surf parks offer reliable waves every day, making them attractive for beginners and professionals. Finally, if we're looking at it from both a user and developer perspective, there's the element of lifestyle branding. Let's be honest, surfing isn't just a sport or a hobby, it's a culture. Developers can therefore tap into that identity to create premium lifestyle hubs and mixed-use areas that deliver on what surfers expect. But here's where it gets interesting for investors. Surf parks are becoming more than just standalone attractions. They're becoming the anchor for large-scale mixed-use developments. This means revenue doesn't just come from ticket sales. Instead, investors can tap into multiple income streams. For example, residential property sales and rentals, hospitality, including hotels and short-term stays, food, beverage, and retail, event hosting and surf competitions, as well as the more traditional element of membership and training programs. In many cases, the surf lagoon can act as a centerpiece amenity that increases surrounding property values. Think of it as a golf course or marina. It becomes a premium feature that drives demand. But now let's talk about the risks. Surf parks require significant upfront capital. Construction costs can be high, especially with the need for cutting-edge wave technology. Once it's built, there's also operational complexity. Energy use, maintenance, water management all need to be handled efficiently. And on the flip side of the demand factors mentioned earlier, there's also market risk. Not every location will have the demand needed to sustain a surf park long term. Success will therefore depend heavily on execution, location, and integration with surrounding real estate. In other words, this is not exactly a passive investment. It's a development and operational play. So you may be asking, are surf parks the future of alternative real estate investment? As you will have noticed, they sit at the intersection of sport, lifestyle, and property investment. For the right investor, in the right market and the right location, these surf parks represent more than just a novelty. they're a new kind of asset class. The question is, will they crash like a wave or build into something much, much bigger? If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing for more insights into emerging real estate investment trends. And I'll see you in the next one.